Welcome to the Carbonite Jedi, where the Force will be with you always. Lately, I've been talking about directors that I thought would be great for the Star Wars universe to use. There's Zack Snyder, who said he pitched his movie idea to Kathleen Kennedy back in 2013, right before Disney bought Lucasfilm. And then there's the director of John Wick. He said he would love to take a stab at making a Star Wars movie. And then there's the two directors for the Game of Thrones that pitched their idea back in 2019 and were shut down. They wanted to create a First Jedi origin story, and Lucasfilm said, nah, we're sorry, we're going to go in a different direction. And so they did The Last Jedi. So now I saw an article came out, and if you haven't seen the movie, I haven't seen it yet. It's out in theaters still. It's called Godzilla -1, which I love Godzilla movies. I want to see it. I want to see the one on, I believe it's Amazon Prime, the Godzilla movie with the Godzilla series with Kurt Russell. But this one says Godzilla -1 director Takashi Yamazaki screened his Kaiju movie for Lucasfilm. So there's some kind of thing going on. The director going to show his movies, so maybe he could become a director of Star Wars. I know they went and wooed a couple of Japanese directors to do the animated series they have on Disney Plus station, or the Disney Plus channel. So that's pretty interesting. I know if you look back, George Lucas, when he originally made Star Wars, he used a lot of his cinematic effects and directing techniques from a famous Japanese director. And that director's name was Akira Kurosawa. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but I saw a lot of photos with him and George Lucas together when he, especially around the time of The Empire Strikes Back. I saw a couple of photos, which is pretty interesting. He was a good director. I actually watched one of the films, and it's so funny because in his directing, he would have these two peasants that would, I think the movie was from the perspective of the peasants, and they went around and they told the story through what they saw. And so instead of having peasants in Star Wars, George Lucas had droids. He had C-3PO and R2-D2. And it's basically supposed to be told, this whole story is supposed to be told from their perspective. And so that's how he did that with Kurosawa. And then some of the shots, how he faded in and, did wipes from one scene to another. It's really, really cool. Just next time you watch Star Wars, and particularly after they capture Tantive 5, I think it is, with Princess Leia, the blockade runner, when they capture her and the droids make it to Tatooine, if you watch the scene where it goes from the Imperial Star Destroyer, you'll see the wipe down to when the droids are actually landed on Tatooine. And that's one of the things that Akira Kurosawa used in his movie. Anywho, enough of that. But so this article came out, and I just wanted to show you real quick the article. And I'll just go through it real fast. So it says, and that is a scary looking Godzilla. If I was in a boat like that and I saw something like that coming at me, I would be doing my best to get out of the way, because it looks like it's coming and it's hungry. Godzilla -1 director Takashi Yamazaki screened his Kaiju movie for Lucasfilm. After previously expressing interest in working in a Star Wars movie, Godzilla -1 director, oh, there it is. He said it. Takashi Yamazaki has recently screened his critically acclaimed Kaiju film on Lucasfilm's lot, potentially indicating the possibility of a future collaboration. So I don't know if you've seen the movie. I haven't seen it. Let me know if you've seen it and if it was good. I really want to see it. And I just found out that Kaiju is the Japanese name for monstrous or gigantic monster. August Ragone, a longtime fan of Godzilla and Star Wars alike, the host of the first ever American Anime and Tokusatsu convention in 1979 and the author of a biography of Godzilla and Ultraman, co-creator Eiji Subiara recently attended a screening of Godzilla Minus One, attended by the director himself. The event was put together by Lucasfilm's own Chief Creative Officer and Executive Vice President Dave Filoni and Senior Pipeline Technical Director Kenneth Ibrahim. You can read Ragone's post about the screening below. And there's his Twitter. Great Godzilla Minus One screening tonight at Lucasfilm was introduced to director Yamazaki. After the Q&A, he was also gracious enough to sign my copy of the JPN theater program, a Godzillion, thanks to Ken Ibrahim and Dave Filoni. More tomorrow. I guess Dave Filoni really likes Godzilla too. As it stands, this could mean a multitude of things for the future of Star Wars. Lucasfilm reps could be very impressed with the film and push for him to develop his own project in the long-running franchise. Okay, so they'll let him develop his own project, but all these other projects that all these great directors have brought in are not worth it. And it just makes no sense. I don't understand. He might be able to do his own, but Zack Snyder, the directors from the Game of Thrones, they haven't even talked to the director of John Wick yet, I don't think. Let's push for John Woo. There's tons of others. Oh my gosh. All right. As I said, Lucasfilm reps could be very impressed with the film and push for him to develop his own project in the long-running franchise, or this may be a one-off screening that doesn't necessarily result in a new Star Wars story told by a Japanese filmmaker. Me saying all that stuff, I still want him to do it. I think if you can do a Godzilla monster movie and it's hitting records like it is right now, it's a sleeper. They should get him in there. I mean, granted, when J.J. Abrams came out with the first Star Wars or Star Trek movie, I was so impressed. I really loved his cinematography. I loved the way the Star Trek movie was done. The actors, it came together so fantastic. And then he did Star Wars, and I personally felt he pooped on it. You know, The Force Awakens, I just thought he wasn't the writer, he was the director. I get that, but still, he's going to get the brunt of my disgust, I guess. Okay, so where was I? Still, it also would not be the first time that Lucasfilm sought out Japanese talent, as I was telling you earlier. Lucasfilm CEO Kathleen Kennedy and Filoni previously trekked to Japan to meet with Star Wars Visions, the Ninth Jedi animators, production IG for unspecified reasons, but likely to talk about the future possibilities for Visions or other projects set in the galaxy far, far away. Aside from his interest in Star Wars, Takashi Yamazaki has noted that he's interested in the possibility of making a direct sequel to Godzilla Minus One, which the movie's reception would certainly invite as a possibility. So, I mean, in Hollywood, if it makes money, like Mark Hamill said, they're gonna make more. You know, it's a money grab. You have a wonderfully great movie that comes out. They're gonna make a sequel. You can bet on it because they want to make the money. It's all about the dollars. So I guess it's talking about Godzilla in the movie. It says, in the immediate aftermath of World War II, mere weeks after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the fire bombings of cities like Tokyo, the nation was left in ruins and put at a state of zero as it surrendered to the Allies, and the arrival of Godzilla takes the country to a state of -1. Godzilla Minus One is set over the course of 2 years as a failed kamikaze pilot returns to what's left of his home after an encounter with a giant monster he saw on a remote island. Amidst the devastation of Tokyo, he finds a new life with a woman he met on a chance encounter and an orphan girl who they look after. As he becomes a minesweeper to atone for his guilt over the war and to provide for his family, the man discovers the monster he encountered is alive and more dangerous than ever, being empowered by nuclear tests in the Bikini Atoll. With both the United States and Soviet Union locked in the Cold War, outside assistance is impossible, and the man and his allies have to act fast to stop Godzilla from bringing untold devastation to a people who have already suffered greatly. On top of receiving widespread critical acclaim, Godzilla Minus One proved to be a kaiju-sized sleeper hit at the domestic box office, which, as said earlier, it must be a great movie. I want to see it. It is set to clear $50 million in American and Canadian markets this weekend, collectively making them the largest source of revenue than its impressive $35 million haul in Japan. With a budget of under $15 million, wow, that's fantastic. With a budget of under $15 million, the film is set to be one of the most profitable in the entire franchise and one of the highest grossing Japanese language films outside of its native market. Takashi Yamazaki definitely proved his stripes with a movie that made its human drama as compelling as the monster action was awe-inspiring to watch. And it would be wonderful to see Lucasfilm give him an opportunity to work on a larger stage, especially given how much the Star Wars franchise's DNA is indebted to Japanese culture and cinema. As I was saying, with George Lucas using Kurosawa's stuff for Star Wars. Godzilla Minus One is still playing in select theaters. All right, so that's that. I just wanted to bring that to your attention. They're thinking about, well, I don't know if they're thinking about bringing him in, but it'd be a huge waste to have a director that made a $15 million movie that's going to blowing up like it is, and not use him. He wants to do the Star Wars movie, so Filoni, and I hope they don't put roadblocks in his way. You know, there's got to be a lot of meat in that movie for it to be 15 million. It's not a Transformers movie where it's all like special effects. You know, they gross really good, you know, money, but there's not a lot of soul to it. This must have a lot of soul, you know, and meat to it to have it blowing up. So yeah, I'm thinking with these pictures, goodness gracious, I'm almost tempted to stream it online if it's available. So first of all, Lucasfilm had him at Lucasfilm Studios and he showed the movie. Second of all, it said that he wants to do a Star Wars movie. Third, it seems like a lot of the Lucasfilm people are Godzilla fans. There's so much that Lucasfilm could offer this guy, and he could make a kick-tail Star Wars movie. What are your thoughts? I think with all these directors coming out of the woodwork wanting to work with Star Wars and Lucasfilm, they have got to pick somebody who loves the franchise, who respects it, and isn't in it to push some agenda. Do it for the love of the universe, the Star Wars universe, not because you're out there trying to push an agenda and try to get some point across that doesn't appeal to the fans. That's my thought. I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. I really appreciate it. The channel appreciates it, and the Force appreciates it. Well, that's it for this video, but come back for more Star Wars and sci-fi content, more Black Series unboxings, more live streams, and more live movie watches. Well, if you're in the country and it's inclement weather. Stay warm. I know I'm trying to stay warm. It's pretty chilly outside. It's in the negatives. But stay warm. Have a great weekend, what's left of it. And remember, the Force will be with you always. Thanks for watching.